Deep in the jungles of South America, there was once a community that promised equality, safety, and a better future. People arrived full of hope. They believed they were building something rare, a place free from injustice, fear, and division. But on a single day in 1978, that dream came to a sudden and devastating end. This is the story of Jonestown, a settlement built on belief, loyalty, and control. Jonestown began with a promise. Its leaders spoke passionately about fairness and unity, claiming he could create a society where everyone mattered. For many who felt ignored or mistreated back home, his words felt powerful. Families sold their homes, left their jobs, and traveled thousands of miles to a remote stretch of jungle in Guyana. They believed they were starting over. They believed this place would give their lives meaning. At first, the settlement appeared peaceful. Small wooden buildings stood surrounded by dense rainforest. People worked long hours together, clearing land, planting crops, and building homes. Meals were shared. Music played during community gatherings. Children ran through dirt paths between cabins. To outsiders, Jonestown looked like a hard-working agricultural project driven by idealism. But the jungle brought isolation. The nearest towns were far away. Communication with the outside world became limited. Slowly, the community grew more dependent on its leader for food, safety, and direction. Daily life became tightly scheduled. Long work days were followed by mandatory meetings. Loudspeakers echoed through the settlement, broadcasting speeches from morning until night. Privacy disappeared. Personal relationships were monitored. Questioning authority was discouraged. Members were repeatedly warned that the outside world was hostile and dangerous. They were told that enemies wanted to destroy what they had built. Fear became a constant presence, shaping thoughts and decisions. Over time, leaving no longer felt like an option. As pressure increased, loyalty became the most valuable currency in Jonestown. Public confessions and loyalty tests were used to reinforce obedience. Exhaustion weakened resistance. Isolation blurred reality. What began as a dream of freedom slowly transformed into a closed system where control touched every part of life. In November of 1978, tension reached its breaking point. Visitors from the outside arrived, raising concerns and asking questions. Their presence disrupted the fragile balance inside the settlement. Shortly after, the visitors departed and the atmosphere shifted dramatically. The leader gathered the community and delivered a final address. He framed what was coming as a revolutionary act, a statement against a world he claimed would never allow them to live in peace. What followed was irreversible. By the end of the day, Jonestown fell silent. When authorities eventually reached the settlement, they encountered a haunting scene. The jungle stood still. Paths were empty. Buildings were abandoned. Hundreds of lives had been lost in a single day. It became one of the greatest losses of American civilian life outside of wartime, shocking the world and leaving countless families searching for answers. How could something like this happen? Jonestown was not created by madness alone. It was built slowly, through trust, isolation, fear, and manipulation. The people who came here were not weak. They were hopeful. They were searching for belonging, purpose, and justice. And step by step, that hope was reshaped into obedience. Jonestown remains a powerful warning. It shows how easily belief can be exploited, how dangerous unchecked authority can become, and how important independent thinking truly is. History may not repeat itself in the same way, but its patterns return again and again. And remembering Jonestown means recognizing those patterns before it's too late.